Good evening all, and thanks for being here as we start off another week of programming on a Monday, that being the 23rd day of February, the last Monday of February. I have no problem letting this month go. I'm usually in the mindset of trying to slow things down, but let's move on, right? With that said, a couple of dates to make note of tonight on that front. With it being the 23rd of February, that means we are 25 days away from the official start of spring. And before that, a week from this Saturday on the 8th of March, it will be time to spring those clocks forward and get our daylight back. So yay to both of those. To your forecast, not so much. We do have a few days, more than a couple, in the low to mid 50 range, but it's still not a great forecast that we're all hoping for that we'll get here sooner than later. Possibly we'll update your 7-day. There's some flakes, there's some rain, there is some sun, and there are some 50s in it. A lot of news to cover before I'm out the door. District tournament action tonight, of course, tipping off in just a few seconds. I won't get there in time for that, but I'll have some highlights on tomorrow night's program from the girls' matchups from this evening. With that said, a couple of important things to discuss. I'm still awaiting word. I can tell you what I know at this hour. It still looks as though, in regards to the ambulance service situation in McGoffin County, as we've been focusing on for the past couple of weeks, I did talk briefly with Judge Executive Don McFarland earlier, and he has been in meetings all afternoon on discussing this very topic with a number of different individuals, and we'll tell you more about that hopefully on as soon as tomorrow. But I can say this: it does look as though Patriot Ambulance Service will not be here for any longer. Of course, that could change. This is still a very fluid situation. They were essentially trying to, I think, float a temporary loan to cover the gap left behind of $2.5 million from Medicaid and Medicare funding, which they had not received in January as we're supposed to, and that not coming until the latter part of March at last report to them, as well as to other ambulance services which are facing the same issues. So as of right now, speaking with Judge McFarland, they are working to have temporary coverage, as he's referred to now on a couple of different occasions. He has reached agreements with Johnson County and Paintsville EMS, Morgan County EMS as well, lifeguard out of Floyd County, and there are a number of other temporary solutions that local government is looking at. So with that said, ambulance service was not being provided today by Patriot, from what I understand. I have not confirmed, but what I understand. And tomorrow I will have an updated situation for you, update on the situation for you. Last night it was ambulance by air that were called, as EMS personnel were first going to life flight two individuals. This was Saturday night, actually, involved in a serious ATV accident on Lacey Creek here in McGoffin County. As I understand, the driver lost control of the side-by-side. It left the roadway, overturned. The driver was ejected. There was a female passenger. They both suffered what was feared to be life-threatening injuries at the time. And there were multiple efforts made to life flight them both from a landing zone established near the accident scene around 10:30 on Saturday night, but due to various complications and issues, they ended up being taken by ground ambulance to the Pikeville Medical Center. I have confirmed that they were not indeed life-threatening injuries, and both will recover, as what we are being told, and we are glad to be able to report that. The Sagersville Fire Department responded this morning to a structure fire off of Burning Fork shortly before 7 o'clock. No injuries, as the person who resides at this residence was at work at the time. This was the scene this morning, just at the moment that firefighters arrived at this single-wide mobile home on Kelly Branch off of Burning Fork. It was then that they found the residence completely engulfed in flames. It was a total loss. The Sagersville Fire Department responding. We're still awaiting word on what and where the fire may have been started, if they're going to be able to determine that. But they were able to confirm shortly upon arrival that the resident was already gone from home and was at work when the blaze began. And hence no injuries were reported. Again, this was Kelly Branch this morning, shortly before 7 o'clock. I'll be right back.
90s Mixtape Live. Motown Philly's back again. Well, it's love that I need.
That thing, that thing, that thing. Oops, I did it Johnson Central High School stands alone in providing the most college and career programs of study in one building throughout the entire state of Kentucky. This includes pathways in everything from the medical field to engineering, telemedia, welding, agriculture, and even aviation. And that's just to name a few of the 32 different choices. Work has also been started on a brand new state-of-the-art high school. So now is the time for your child to experience the power of opportunities in Johnson County School.
SMB is proud to stand with you with what might be your very first and definitely last checking, savings, retirement, even Christmas Club account, along with consumer, auto, mortgage, business loans that you can easily manage from anywhere in the world with safe, secure mobile and online banking that comes from over 120 years of commitment to your financial life and well-being, today, tomorrow, and forever. Salyersville National.
There are buttons to button, snacks to prepare, math problems to help with, and boo-boos to kiss. If you have people who need you, you need life insurance. Talk to a Kentucky Farm Bureau agent about a policy that protects the ones you love. Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance. Big on commitment.
I've got some new indictments returned by the McGoffin County Grand Jury. We'll get to that in just a few moments. First off, an update on a federal indictment that I spoke of last week on Wednesday, as he said he was going to do via his attorneys. A Louisville man who wanted to change his plea from not guilty to guilty did just that, with court documents, as I told you last time, indicating that he admitted to being responsible for bringing potentially thousands and thousands of pounds of methamphetamine and other drugs into the eastern Kentucky area. We won't know until after his June sentencing how many years 36-year-old Robert E. Pilgrim of Louisville will spend in federal prison, but we do know that this investigation started with local charges here in McGoffin County after a McGoffin County Sheriff's Department traffic stop. Those charges were presented to federal investigators who took the case, and then they were able to take that investigation to a point where they learned and was confirmed in his plea agreement that Pilgrim was responsible for transporting anywhere between 1,000 and 3,000 kilograms of methamphetamine and other drugs into the Kentucky area, thousands and thousands of pounds, for which he was federally indicted in July of 2024. He did plead guilty to an amended charge of possession of more than 50 grams of methamphetamine and does face up to life in prison. It's a case that Sheriff Bill Meade, shortly after the indictment of Pilgrim, told us had a ripple effect, an immediate positive ripple effect on the drug supply here in the McGoffin and eastern Kentucky area. And on a drug-related message, the Paintsville Police Department has this important message saying that while this announcement or alert is coming from the Huntington, West Virginia Police Department, it is very well believed and possible, certainly, that drugs like these, which appear very, very harmless in nature, may have already made their way into our area or the region, or certainly could have been destined to do so. It's not the first or the last, just the most recent time that drugs have been made to look like candy or children's vitamins or just anything you can just about imagine. The Paintsville Police Department, understanding that the Violent Crime Drug Task Force with the Huntington, West Virginia PD seized almost 1,000 of these multicolored tablets, which were made into the shape of transformers, resembling the Transformers emblem, just in various different colors, very similar to what would be a children's vitamin, representing a clear and obvious danger to any children, and to adults for that matter as well. The tablets testing positive for ecstasy or Molly, as well as fentanyl, with the Paintsville Police Department pleading with parents and guardians to speak to your children and teenagers about the potential dangers of consuming unknown substances, not knowing or verifying where they came from, regardless of their appearance. B&B Discount Tobacco has moved just down the street beside the McGoffin County Rescue Squad. New location, new and improved drive-through, New products, more inventory, more reasons to stop by B&B Tobacco 7 days a week. It's a new year with new deals at Conley Tire in Staffordsville, like $100 back on new sets of Goodyears through February the 28th, and other specials on East Kentucky's best in-stock tire inventory. Conley's, your tire, wheel, and auto repair and maintenance HQ since 1982. In Staffordsville or at conleytire.net. These are actual recent images of local heating and cooling systems, residential and commercial. An example of 75% of all the calls that Ultimate Air responds to. Little or no maintenance, or sometimes someone else being paid to maintain a system. Prevent 75% of your breakdowns with preventative and actual maintenance by Ultimate Air. Locally owned, locally trusted. A new year often means new inspirations, new goals, a new focus on your health and well-being, and nowhere is that more important than Fraser's Prater Drugstore. From healthy resolutions to a fresh start without smoking, to a fresh batch of cookies just in from the daily bread, to some incredible comfort food at the counter. Step in and let us remind you why we'll always be your oldest hometown pharmacy. Fraser's Prater Drugstore, downtown Sayersville. Now let's go over to tonight's McGoffin Farm Bureau calendar. A couple of quick reminders. This Saturday is the 28th of February, and that is the day for the highly anticipated card show, trade show, hosted by Sayersville Sports Cards. They're going to have concessions. They're going to have a lot of great vendors there, a lot of things to trade, see, buy, do. And they still had a few spots left for some vendors. And that will be this coming Saturday, 10 till 4. A big dinner and auction coming up Saturday, March the 7th at the Head of Coon United Baptist Church. I'll remind you, it gets a little bit closer, and I think there's still, I know there's always room to help, but if you can help support the McGoffin County Special Olympics Organization in their efforts to buy new uniforms for all their athletes, please contact Paul Gumby Montgomery. Contact me for any calendar announcement, birthday or anniversary too. From there, funeral service announcements provided nightly by the McGoffin County Funeral Home begin tonight with the passing of 93-year-old Mary Etta Hoskins Flint of Sayersville. She passed away Friday at the Hospice Care Center in Hazard. She's survived by her daughter, Tammy Ann Arnott, sons Rondell Keith Hoskins and Roy Kenneth Hoskins, her sister Martha Back, and 4 grandchildren and 4 great-grandkids. Also surviving is her devoted caregiver, Narda Howard. Etta is preceded in death by her first husband, Rondell Green Hoskins, second husband, Mickey Flint, 3 brothers and 3 sisters. Services will start tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock from the McGoffin County Funeral Home. Visitation is this evening. 84-year-old Alta Howard Howes of Sayersville passed away Saturday. The daughter of Toy and Delphia Howard, she was preceded in death by her husband, Charles Newton Howes. She survived by her children, Doug and Mike Howes, Belinda Green, a number of grandchildren and great-grandchildren and siblings, Phyllis Howard, Case Bolt, Shirley, Gay Howard, Helton, Vandal Howard, and Wilma Howard. In addition to her husband and parents, she was preceded in death by 8 siblings, including her twin sister. Visitation will be at the McGoffin County Funeral Home tomorrow evening, 6 until 9. Services will be Wednesday morning at 11 o'clock. Ranked in the very top 10% of the top 150 Kentucky workers' compensation attorneys for Social Security, disability, SSI, personal injury, or workers' compensation, if your working days are over, meet Grover. 888-9-GROVER or locally 349-2065. For home, farm, hillside, or anywhere you need it, A&W Tree Services offers professional tree and brush trimming, removal, and complete cleanup. They're experienced, insured, and have great references. Call for a free estimate, 496-9385 or 9442. A&W Tree Services.
I wonder, could this be our last trip together? What if I upset him? He might never call again. But what if I don't say anything?
Hey, Dad. Is something wrong?
Actually, are you okay?
If someone you know or love is struggling, contact Big Sandy Healthcare today.
Starting off a new year, Parkway Pharmacy wants you to know that they have a lot to be proud of, thanks to you. proud to be community partners, proud to be good neighbors, proud to be your pharmacy. Thank you from everyone at Parkway Pharmacy in Salyersville.
Atrial fibrillation is one of the more common rhythms we see.
AFib is an arrhythmia of the heart where the top part of the heart is beating erratically and out of sync with the bottom part of the heart.
The electrophysiology service is made up of a team of healthcare providers, and that includes an electrophysiology lab where we're able to do procedures to help repair heart rhythm problems. When a patient becomes heart rhythm free, it can really restore their life.
ARH, more for Appalachia.
Youth.
Experience.
Modern solutions to modern problems.
Proven solutions to legal problems.
An emerging face in the courtroom.
A known presence in the courtroom.
Together, we are multifaceted.
Together, we will do right by you.
If you are having any legal issues at all, just relax and call Max.
If a car wreck is causing you pain, just pick up the phone and call Donald Wayne.
Election season is here, and we are a one-stop sign and advertising shop. Campaign commercials for TV, for the internet, print advertising in 2 publications, yard signs, bumper stickers, business cards, shirts, caps, banners, all in-house, all premium quality, all local, with no minimums to purchase. Call Independent Signs and Mortimer Media Group today, 349-2915. The following indictments returned by the Magoffin County Grand Jury were done so in the months of November and December, now being served. They are reportable. The first is a case brought before the grand jury by Chief of Police Neil Adams of the Salyersville PD, and it's one that I referred to just last week in discussing the check fraud scheme coming out of Louisa. I was comparing that one to this one as it was back in May of last year. You may recall the report that Adams was investigating a call to 2 local banks where 2 men were seen entering with checks, very real looking payroll checks, which were actually thought to have been or made to appear to be drawn on the financial institutions that they entered into. One for $3,700, the other for, I think it was even significantly larger than that. That investigation actually led him to other states. They were driving a Tennessee-based vehicle that was believed to have been leased, and once he contacted authorities in other states, it was believed to be as well a ring of a similar nature that was operating in a number of states and locations. Now, as a result of all of that, so far, Jeremiah D. Crowder has been picked up and brought back to the Big Sandy Regional Detention Center after he was indicted last November. He's facing local charges of theft by deception, including cold checks under $10,000 and criminal possession of a forged instrument in the 2nd degree and forgery in the 2nd degree. The second individual, who is his accomplice and was with him that day, has also been identified and is currently in a West Virginia jail where he is awaiting similar charges there, for which he will face before being brought here to face the Salyersville charges for which he was also indicted. Christina Van, who's 43 of Prestonsburg, was indicted this past November and just now served for possession of a controlled substance, 1st degree, tampering with physical evidence, possession of drug paraphernalia, 2nd offense, driving on a DUI suspended license, and driving a motor vehicle without a functioning ignition interlock device, as was instructed by the courts for prior driving under the influence offenses or an offense. This was the 6th day of September when she was stopped by the Magoffin County Sheriff's Department. And lastly, tonight, Mary Collinsworth, also identified by jail records as Mary Collinsworth Hall of Salyersville, was indicted by the Magoffin County Sheriff's Department for aggravated trafficking in a controlled substance for the large amount of fentanyl that she was found to be in possession of on February the 20th of last year. Also possession of a controlled substance, 1st degree, and possession of drug paraphernalia. Now, let's take a look at your weather outlook, shall we? Where I wish I had some, it's not bad. I think everyone's just so done with winter that we're just waiting for the 60s and, 70s consecutively. Well, we're not anywhere close to that. We do have, after starting off at 27 No, we started off at 22 degrees this morning. My apologies. We hit 27.7, and we're holding at 27 right now, on our way down to about 19. Mostly cloudy, and we've had snowflakes flying today that haven't added up to much. Now, yesterday, of course, just enough to cancel school and make some really slick spots for a lot of us. And, of course, we should feel very fortunate that we're not underneath or anywhere more near that bomb cyclone. I mean, we're talking 2 feet of snow on the coast and elsewhere. Central Park had 15 inches this morning in New York. I mean, it's been dangerous. So maybe that will make us enjoy our forecast a little more. Mostly cloudy, a 20% chance of some more snowflakes to fly tonight. That's pretty much it. Tomorrow, we're not going to go very far. After 19 tonight, we may hit 43, 44 degrees, but it's going to be a cloudy day, and it's going to be a windy day with up to 15, 16 mile-per-hour winds out of the south-southwest. Rain is possible, only a 20% chance, but late tomorrow night after 1 a.m. when we'll be well above freezing again at the before-mentioned approximate 39. Winds, again, southwesterly went from 5 to 15, and they might even pick up tomorrow night up to 20 miles per hour during the overnight with the winds that roll through. Wednesday, we do hit some 50s. We have some partly sunny skies, 39 for the low again, but we have rain likely. Now, as far as during the day on Wednesday, partly sunny and only about a 20% chance, but a likelihood of rain, not heavy rain, but just rain Wednesday night. Into your Thursday, where it's just going to be rainy. An 80 to 90% chance of rain. It's a likelihood. 53, mostly cloudy and wet for your Thursday. Nighttime lows around 32 degrees. And if you see a little bit of changeover, it's possible, but it's just going to be close. It's not going to amount to anything if we do. And then we're into your Friday, and we've got a couple of clear, dry days. There's some good news. 54 sunny for your Friday. Nighttime lows hovering around or just under the freezing mark with clear skies that night. Saturday is definitely the bright spot of all of your 7-day at 64 and sunny. Nighttime lows well above freezing at 38 and mostly clear. Then we're right back to the 50s we go. 60s are short-lived Saturday, while Sunday we're back to 55, 36, partly sunny skies, and rain chances roll back in and roll into your Monday and maybe even a little bit beyond there with the mid-50s. How long are they going to stick around? Well, it's, wait and see. That's going to wrap it up. I'm headed off to Central. Johnson Central, that is. I'll see you back here with highlights and more tomorrow night. Thank you for watching.